Welcome to Narrative Nook Cafe. I am so happy that you are here today. I have the weirdest story to tell you. I'm not sure if I'm crazy or what I should do, so maybe you can help me. The first time it happened, I laughed. The second time, I paused. By the third time, I stopped telling people about it. Because there's something terrifying about realizing the place you live in is paying attention to you. Not reacting, not glitching, waiting. The house didn't look haunted. That was the problem. It was a modest two-story place tucked into a quiet street where nothing ever really happened. Neutral siding, clean lines, a porch that was just wide enough for 2 chairs but never had any on it. The kind of house people passed every day without remembering they'd seen it. The lawn was trimmed too evenly, not lovingly, precisely. The windows were large but never reflective. Even in the afternoon, they absorbed light instead of throwing it back, like they were designed to see out, not let anyone see in. Inside, everything felt intentional. The walls were a soft off-white that didn't warm or cool the room, just existed. The floors didn't creak, they didn't complain underweight, they held it. The air was always still, like the house had learned how to breathe without being noticed. The kitchen was open but not inviting. No sharp corners, no clutter. Cabinets that closed silently, even when you pushed them too hard. Appliances that hummed at a frequency you only noticed once they stopped. The hallway felt longer at night, not wider, not darker, just longer. The bedroom windows were placed a little higher than normal, angled so you couldn't quite see the street unless you stood in the exact right spot. The bathroom mirror never fogged fully, just enough to soften your reflection, never enough to hide it. And the quiet, not empty quiet, attentive quiet, like the house was always awake and always watching, never intrusive, never asleep. It didn't feel alive, it felt managed. As if everything, light, temperature, sound, had been calibrated to make you stay comfortable enough not to ask questions. And that's what made it dangerous, because there was nothing in that house you could point to and say, "This is wrong." You just knew, eventually, that it knew you back. I didn't find the house where I was looking. It showed up in a smaller rental feed, one I didn't usually check. No description, no charm, just photos that felt neutral. Too neutral. I emailed anyway. The realtor, Angela, called me back within the hour. Her voice was polite, quick, like she didn't want the conversation to linger. I asked why the rent was lower than everything else nearby. She didn't pause long enough to think. "The owner's very selective," she said. When we toured the house, she was already inside. Door open, lights on. She didn't guide me through the rooms. She hovered near the front hallway, keys twisting in her hand. When I asked about the smart features, she smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "The owner manages all that." I asked if there was anything I should know. She hesitated, just a second. "They are attentive," she said. "If you ever feel unsure, you can contact them directly." She laughed like it was a joke. It wasn't. I signed the lease 2 days later. I only met the landlord once, Mark. Firm handshake, calm smile. The kind of man who speaks slowly, like he expects you to listen. He didn't ask many questions about me, didn't care where I worked, didn't ask for references. He just nodded, like he already knew or was pretending to know. It felt as if he just wanted the conversation to end quickly. "This house is a good fit for people who keep a routine," he said. "It responds better that way." I laughed. "Responds?" He smiled back. "You'll see." He walked through the house without checking anything, didn't test lights, didn't flip switches, just observed. At the door before he left, he said, "If something ever feels off, don't worry. The system just needs time to adjust." I didn't ask what he meant. I moved in on a Friday, ordered takeout, unpacked slowly. The house felt cooperative. That first night, I set my keys down in the bowl by the door. Later, when I went back to grab them, they were already turned the way I liked them, facing up, easy to reach. I told myself I must have done that without realizing. The porch light turned on as I pulled into the driveway. I smiled. "That's creepy but convenient," I said out loud. At first, it was small. The thermostat was always perfect, not warm, not cool, just right. The bathroom fan kicked on the moment steam touched the mirror. Soft music played when I walked in the door, never loud, never surprising, but I couldn't find where it was coming from. Once, my groceries were still cold after I forgot them in the car. I joked about it with a friend. "This house is smarter than me," I said. She laughed. "Must be nice." So I stopped noticing, or at least I told myself I did. The first thing that unsettled me wasn't the technology, it was the timing. I came home early one night, unplanned. The lights were already on, the temperature adjusted instantly, music playing from somewhere, like the house had been waiting. I stood in the doorway longer than necessary, just listening. "Okay," I whispered. "That's weird." Still, nothing bad had happened, so I stayed. I started testing it, leaving, then returning 10 minutes later. Everything ready. One morning, I pulled out of the driveway and parked down the street. I waited. 5 minutes. 10. The porch light stayed off. The moment I pulled back in, click, on. My stomach dropped. I told myself it was motion sensors. I searched everywhere for wires or lasers or anything that I could see to make sense of what was happening. I told myself a lot of things, but none of it made sense in reality. I asked the neighbors if they knew anything about the house, and they didn't say much. Some of them looked scared and didn't want to speak with me. Others say that renters never stay long. They see a moving truck one day and then the renters just disappear, as if they packed everything and moved in the middle of the night. That weighed heavy on me. It was the door that broke me. I came home late one night, tired, irritable. I reached for my keys, and the front door unlocked, by itself. I froze. No footsteps, no movement, just the hum of the house. At this point, I'm thinking this house wants my soul or something, but I don't have time for games today. I'm tired and frustrated, and I wish this house would. So I stepped into the house and locked it manually, checked every room, hoping somebody jumped out, but there was no one and nothing was out of place. I slept with my bedroom door locked that night, but I still felt watched, like the house was watching. I was in bed when I heard it, soft, calm. "You forgot your keys." I sat straight up. What in the world? Who or what is that? The voice wasn't robotic. It sounded normal, human. Then silence. That's when I knew. I searched the house the next morning. Behind a panel in the laundry room, I found wiring that wasn't on the inspection report. A second router, hidden. I called the police. They didn't laugh. They asked how long it had been happening. Mark had access to everything. Oh, cameras, motion sensors, smart devices. He said he was just keeping an eye on things. He liked knowing when I was home. It made him feel helpful, safe. The house wasn't haunted. It was surveilled. I was furious. What does he mean he felt helpful? It would have been helpful for him to mind his business. I felt icky. I moved out that week. I had to before I helped Mark find his maker. Later, I tried to find the listing again. Gone. The agency still existed. Angela didn't. Her phone number bounced back. Disconnected. And that's when I realized. The house didn't just know my schedule. It knew how to disappear. I still pause when lights turn on automatically. Still hesitate when doors unlock too smoothly. Because once you realize someone's been watching you live your life, you don't forget. The house never wanted me. Someone else did. But now that I can't find traces of the house, the realtor, or the landlord, I'm starting to feel like I imagined it all. I found a new house and everything feels on the up and up, but I don't know if I'll ever feel comfortable renting now. Tell me, would you have stayed after the door unlocked? What would you have done? Let me know in the comments section. And if you like stories that feel paranormal until they aren't, go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep the lights on for you.